Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to take a look at getting started with the Stormcast Eternals Thunderstrike in Age of Sigmar Warcry. In this video we're going to take a look at the contents of the Stormbringer magazine issues 9 to 12 and all the models in them that can be used in Warcry. If this is the first time you've checked out the series, this is currently the third installment within the series, and if you want to check out the videos that have come before, follow the link above to check out the start of the series. Today's video is brought to you by Waterfront News and Lotto, located in Devonport, Tasmania. They stock a wide variety of Games Workshop, D&D, Star Wars Wargame and paint products and so much more. You can follow the link in the video's description to check out if they've got something for you today in their store. And so, the only models in the set of magazines that can be used in Warcry are the Warhammer Underworlds warband that come in issue 10, Xandire's Truthseekers. And we're going to talk about Calthea Xandire first. Now, first of all, she has the Xandire's Truthseeker rune mark, as these are a Bladeborn warband and they sort of get their own unique special rules, which is pretty cool because she also, when has this rune mark, will count as having the Stormcast Thunderstrike rune mark, which is great, combines with models we've already had. And then she's got the Leader and Champion rune marks as well, and this is going to give her access to a wide variety of abilities. Stat-wise, she's pretty solid for a Stormcast hero: 5 movement, 5 health, 25 wounds. She's got 5 attacks at a 1-inch range with strength 4 and 2/4 on her damage, which is pretty solid. Now, if we start looking at the abilities, her first one and her unique one we get is called Lantern Astrala. This is allowing her until the end of the battle round for a double to subtract 2 from the value of abilities to a minimum of 1 used by visible enemy fighters while they're within 9 inches of this fighter. This just means, all your opponent's abilities are going to degrade. This obviously isn't going to affect everything you have access to, but it is a really strong ability nonetheless. Now, she does also have a bunch of generic Stormcast ones she can use. Blaze of Glory is something all our Stormcast fighters will get, and they can only use this if they've got 15 or more damage points allocated, and they're allowed to make a bonus attack action if they do. She's then got Shock and Awe, which is one of the leader abilities and just a generic sort of leader one that all Stormcast leaders will get, and they can only use this ability if they've taken down an enemy fighter, and then they get to make a bonus move or bonus attack for a double as well, so a couple of ways they can get some extra actions in. And then she's also got Coordinated Strike, where for a triple she picks a number of visible friendly fighters equal to half the value of this ability rounding up within 9 inch, and those fighters can each make a bonus move or bonus attack. So not only can she get herself extra actions whether or not she's killed an enemy fighter or suffered a lot of wounds, and she can also give a bunch of extra actions to some of our friendlies as well. She's a really, really solid leader. Next we have Doraz Giantfell, and he's another fighter that comes in issue 10, another part of Xandire's Truthseekers. He has those rune marks that will make him part of Xandire's Truthseekers, and of course, productly, he will count as having the Stormcast Thunderstrike rune mark, and he's also got the Brute rune mark. Stat-wise, he's fairly solid. He's pretty slow with only movement 4, but defense 5 and 22 wounds. He also has a 1-inch range in melee with 3 attacks at strength 5, 3, 5 on the damage, so he hits pretty hard, though doesn't have quite as many attacks as Xandire. Now, he's fairly solid himself. He has that Brute rune mark, which is going to give him access, first of all, to a unique ability called Staggering Blow, where you pick a visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of this fighter. That enemy fighter must make a bonus disengage action. If they cannot do so, you allocate d6 damage points to them instead, which is nice. So he can either sort of push someone back if they can't be pushed back, if they're trapped against the wall. He can smack them really hard. So if you can sort of get your Stormcast to sort of pin someone in, it can be really interesting. But he also then will get access to a quad called Force of a Falling Star, which is normally available to Annihilators. He's his own, unique style Annihilator. This fighter makes a bonus move action. If the fighter finishes a move action within 1 inch of an enemy fighter, you pick a visible enemy fighter within 1 inch and allocate a number of damage points equal to double the value of this ability. So a really high quad here can be incredibly powerful. You can just outright do 12 damage to someone with this ability if you do have that quad at 6, or even 10 or 8 is quite a significant amount of damage. And so next we have the last member of our Stormcast part of these models. We do have one more fighter after this, and that is Luxa Stormrider. Now, she's pretty decent. She's still got defense 5, 20 wounds, and she's actually got movement 5 as well, back up to a bit faster than Doraz. Same movement as Xandire herself. And while she does have a few less wounds, she does get a ranged attack that the others don't have. So 3 to 15 inch range with a bow, 2 attacks at strength 4, 2-4 on the damage, which is pretty solid range damage. And in combat, she's still okay with 1 inch range, 3 attacks at strength 4, 1-4 on the damage. So a good couple of crits there, and she will spike up some damage. Now the model does have the rune marks you would expect. She's got the Xandar's Truthseekers, which byproductly gives her Stormcast Thunderstrike, and she's also got the Scout rune mark as well. Now this Scout rune mark is going to give her access first of all to a special ability from Xandar's Truthseekers called Quick Volley. This is a triple, and you add to the attacks characteristic of the next attack action made by this fire that targets an enemy more than 3 inches away, so effectively only works on her ranged attacks, which does up them to 4 ranged attacks, making her pretty lethal at range in all honesty. She's got Blaze of Glory, as you would expect, but then also has a ability called Guiding Lightning, which is a triple as well. A fighter can only use this ability after they've made a missile attack action in the activation. Until the end of the battle round, you add one to the attacks characteristic of attack actions that target the target of that attack action. So she can choose to either boost her own attacks up, maybe if they're too far away, or if you think maybe Doran's or Xandar can get in there and do the damage, she can get them an extra attack by guiding them, which is pretty cool. So you've got a nice little bit of combination play in how you want to act with a bunch of these models, but also she can just do some serious damage at range herself. Lastly, we have Taros, the good old seagull that comes with the warband. Now, Taros himself has a solid 12-inch move, though he only is defense 2 with 6 wounds, so very, very fragile as a piece. But he is relatively cheap for a Stormcast warband, so can get you an extra body where you might not be able to fit in anything else. And also, being pretty fast is nice as well with Fly as one of his rune marks. He's also got the Beast rune marker there as well. Now, the model does in combat attack with a 1-inch range, 3 attacks, strength 2, 1-2 on the damage, so nothing too great to write home about. But then when you combine this with the darting attack ability, where this fighter can make a bonus attack action, then a bonus disengage, it can be pretty useful as he can attack and then just literally fly 12 inches away from someone. So a good little couple of extra points of damage if you need it to take out a fighter, he's really useful for doing. And also, it provides you with Stormcaster sort of breaking up the monotony of what is going to be a lot of armor when painting. And so, for that reason alone, I think he's a fun model to include. Our list today is going to be the Stormcast Eternals Thunderstrike. Now, for heroes in the warband, we've taken Calthea Xandai and our Knight Arcanum. And for fighters, we've got 4 of them. We've taken both Dora's Giant Vel and Lux's Stormrider, the other members, at least the other Stormcast members of the warband. We've then got Taros in there. I feel his movement is really, really useful. And then we've also got a Vindictor in there for another solid model at holding some ground. In Battle Group 1, we're going to have Calthea Xandai and a Vindictor to act as a sort of defensive group. Battle Group 2 will have our Knight Arcanum and Doran's Giantfell as our more offensive battle group. And Battle Group 3 will be the ones that can do some support and objective grabbing and a little bit faster moving or range support with Taros and Lux's Stormrider. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment them down below and we'll endeavour to get back to you. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe and join our Discord server as well, linked in the video's description, for all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry content.